All right, and we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, Against the Ropes podcast. Gio Garcia here, alongside Christian Mosqueda. We are back with another live episode, and we have a special guest, a young man who will be making his professional debut soon. We'll get into all the details in a little bit, but without further ado, man, let's welcome Mr. Nathan Rodriguez.
You.
Welcome, young man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you guys for having us.
And your father's there joining you, right? To your left there. Hello. Welcome back. Welcome back on the show. Good to see you.
Thank you for having us.
All right. And let's get this started with your professional debut, man. You guys just told us the date was changed. It's now January 30th, right?
Yeah, correct. Yes, we got the news this morning that the date was changed to January 30th.
And this fight is going on in Costa Rica, and you guys are self-promoting the show, right? You guys want to give a little more details on that?
Yeah, sure. I guess that'll be me. We're actually going to be promoting, doing a co-promotion out in Costa Rica with a partner out there that we've been working with. We're going to be doing it under Red Boxing Promotion and Marv Nation. It's something that we're going to have actually a world title defense fight under the main event. So something that the people of Costa Rica are looking forward to, and all the fans out here in the U.S. are also looking forward to.
100%. Nathan, let me ask you, you're 16 years old, man. How are you feeling ahead of your pro debut, man? You're still in high school, but you're going to embark on this journey as a professional fighter.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm excited. Ever since this COVID happened, I've just been in the gym, training, and it was a kind of a hard decision whether if we were gonna wait till the amateurs opened up or if we were gonna go ahead and just take that next step in my career, which was to go pro. But right now, the amateurs are still closed, so we just decided just to go ahead and make my pro debut.
Hey, there you go. Nathan, yeah, like Gio said, you're very young, 60 years young. Was it more you that wanted to make the debut? Was it your dad saying, I think it's time? Like, was it a joint decision? How did you guys come to that?
Well, at first it was all me. I felt like I was ready. I was gonna keep training. Trying to sharpen myself up more. My dad wanted me to stay in the amateurs. He wanted me to do the Olympics, but like I said, this whole COVID stuff, all the amateurs and all that's closed down. But I was finally able to get him to agree with me, so we can do this debut.
Hey, nice. And you guys are doing this debut in Costa Rica. You guys mentioned it's going to be on national television, the same way that your brother's been televised out there. Can you tell me a little bit about how, like, what's that feeling like having to debut in another country?
Yeah, I didn't go out there, but just by seeing the crowd, the audience, how pumped they were for my brother to be fighting out there. It pumped me up more too. Like it made me train harder. Just keep focusing. Just so when I go over there, I can feel that same energy.
Hey, nice. What does your brother tell you? I mean, he's been out there. What does he tell you? Knowing like his little brother's gonna, take a step and join the adult leagues, I guess you can say it, and make his debut as a pro.
Yeah. Well, he's always giving me tips here and there, because the professional game is way different from the amateur. It's two totally different things. So he's always telling me things on how to get ready and what to expect in the ring as a professional.
Hey, nice.
And let me
All
ask your
right.
let me ask your dad, how do you feel about Nathan making his professional debut at 16 years old, adding another pro fighter to your family?
You know what? It's been a hard decision for me because I know he's young. 16 years old. It's usually not an age where a lot of people or a lot of kids debut. Like you said, he was telling me from the beginning he wanted to do it. He wanted to do it, and I was like, no, let's wait. I was gonna try to push him, work him hard, maybe get to the Olympics one day. That was the idea. But after I continued to see his perseverance, continued to see him working hard, and not only that, but I also spoke to a few trainers that have trained world champions, that have trained professionals, I've seen them, and the majority of them, there was a few that said, you know what, it may be too early, but the majority of them said, you know what, we seen him work, we seen his work ethic, we believe he has what it takes, and you know, the majority of them gave me a green light. So I wouldn't base more on a professional decision, you know, because obviously he's my son. I want to take care of him. I want to make sure I do the right thing for him, you know.
Hey, um, Nathan, take me back. When did the whole boxing flame passion? When did that first come into your life?
Well, it started off. I started off playing baseball. You know, I played baseball most of my life. Me and my brother, we both played baseball growing up.
Mm.
And in high school, my brother was in high school at the time. He stopped playing baseball. You know, he wasn't doing any sports. He was a little troublemaker. So he was telling my dad, you know, he wanted to start boxing. Um, so my dad, you know, he put him in the gym, and my brother was boxing for about a year. And at the time I stopped playing baseball as well. So I wasn't really doing anything, and I told my dad, I was like, you know, like I want to try something new, you know, like put me in the gym. And I signed up for the gym, and ever since the first day, and even the first time I sparred, I just felt like, you know, this is for me. You know, it was like really exciting. I just love how like the adrenaline is rushing. You know, I just love the feeling.
Hey, do you do you envision like your first steps, like stepping into that professional ring? Like how do you see that playing out?
Well, you know, it's my first time. You know, we want to try to go for the knockout, but like I said, the professional, you know, the professional game is totally different from the amateurs. You know, so we're gonna
Mhm.
just try to go in there calm. You know, picking our shots, not trying to go too crazy because the gloves are smaller. You know, so you can get knocked out easier. So we got to be careful on how we go in and not too crazy.
Hey, all right, I'm gonna take it back to when you were first starting boxing. I asked this question a lot. Was there ever a time where you experienced fear? Or maybe your first sparring, or maybe the first time you got touched up, like as a kid, and how did you deal with that?
A couple times, you know, even now, but not really as much as on how I started. Not really. It wasn't really fear. Just before I entered the ring, just a little nervousness, you know, that came into my body. But after the first couple punches, it goes away.
Hey,
So let me ask your dad on this one. Professional debut in 2021. How fast do you want to move along, or how many fights do you guys envision? This year.
We're probably we're looking at about 3 fights is the idea, but to be honest, we're gonna take it a fight by fight. We're gonna look at this first fight, see how he does. Obviously we have another fight lined up for him, but it just all depends on the outcome of this fight to see, if he comes out dominant, how we expect him to come out and be in control of this fight, and if it's a smooth fight for him, then we'll move on to the second fight. If we see that there's still some work to be done and we need to work on some things, then we'll just slow it down and see when he's ready for the next one. But right now, the idea is to try to get him, maybe 2 to 3 fights this year. So
100%. And let me send a big shout out to our guy Ramiro from HDZ Boxing, who
hey,
helped put this together, and he's here on the live chat as well. And you have a question from our guy Jesus, who's here in the chat. He says, "What do you think are some things you need to improve on, before making that big step?"
Going into the professional game, I know defense is really important. So just little by little every day, you know, I'm trying to sharpen my defense. You know, keeping my hands up. Like I said, the gloves are smaller, or we might not see a punch coming. So I always got to be on that. How do you call it? On what's the word? Like on
High
on your
alert.
toes. Alert?
guard. Like you always got to be ready. You know, because
Yeah.
you got to expect punches or sometimes, like I said, you might not see them. So you always got to be ready. But defense is important. Something I do need to sharpen up.
You ever look at like the fight this past weekend? Ryan Garcia got dropped, right? To a lot of people's surprise. You ever look at that and tell yourself, "I'm gonna make sure that doesn't happen to me."
Yeah, no, definitely. I look at big fights like that. You know, even the good things that they do, I try to try to copy and try to work on stuff like that in the gym myself as well. But even the flaws, like you said, Ryan, you know how he got dropped. I got to work on keeping my hands up because that's a problem for me too. You know, I drop both my hands sometimes, so I definitely need to work on keeping my hands up.
Why do you think that is? You get a little too comfortable in there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to ever made a fighter. You know, they could come out like how what happened. You know, he got dropped, so you never want to underestimate a fighter, get too comfortable because anything could
Yeah,
happen in one
that's
second.
that's what happens. That's why he drops his hands. He gets comfortable
Mhm.
in there with he has a lot of
Yeah.
speed and usually a lot faster than most of the opponents in there. So he kind of feels confident. But yeah, that's something he needs to work on definitely.
And then one other question here from Jesus, Chris, before I let you ask your questions. How's your style? How would you describe your boxing style?
My style is kind of I want to say a little bit kind of like Mayweather, you know, like I'm more of like hit and then move around, you know. I don't have if you guys know my brother has like that Mexican style, just going in there just throwing, but me I have a totally different style, you know. I like to hit, move around, you know, like be slick, you know. Hit, don't get hit.
100%.
More ball.
Nice. Nathan, who are some, you just mentioned Mayweather, who are some other fighters that you admire, either past, present, or in the sport of boxing right now?
Right now, I'd probably say Canelo. You know, Canelo was one of my favorite fighters as I barely started watching boxing or I barely got into boxing, you know, especially since he's Mexican as well as myself. So I really look up to him.
Hey, um, we talked about in previous podcasts about the entertainment factor. Do you take that into account? You know, having to be not just entertaining inside the ring, but outside the ring, and what do you do in that regard?
Yeah, well, the way I look at it, like as people are watching the fight, you know, they like to see fights where people are just cracking each other. But as a fighter, you know, you want to go in there like safe. You know, you don't want to get hit as much because as a
Mhm.
fighter, boxing is really dangerous. But like I said, outside of the ring, people just want to see the fight. But as a boxer, you got to be safe. You know.
But he loves to entertain people. He has his side to him where social media. He's really active on social media. He does a little video. He a little bling bling out there sometimes for people that paying with. It's part of the game today. Social media is big in the sport. So right
Yeah.
now, social media era and reality. So he's doing his thing out there in entertainment also.
Yeah, there's no bigger name, I guess you can say, on social media than Ryan Garcia. What are some things that you see from his either social media or maybe his personality that you kind of see and say, you know what, I can make this my own?
Well, like my dad said, especially in this era right now, social media is the biggest thing. You know, like the bigger the platform, just like the bigger fights, like the YouTube. You know, they have that big platform and they're making big fights. So right now, it's all about that platform, and just like I guess like Ryan. You know, he does modeling. That's another thing that kind of blows him up. So just stuff like that.
Nice, 100%. All right, and one final question before I pass it on to Gio. We gotta, balance it out. The questions out here. What is something that you want to accomplish this year? You know, this being your debut year, what is something that you want to, answer? What questions about yourself? You know, you're young, 16 years young. What is something that you want to accomplish this year?
Well, I want to, you know, like every fight, like my dad said, take step by step. You know, we got to look back at each fight, see what's wrong, what I did wrong, but just to sharpen myself and just to look better every single fight. You know, gain that experience because in amateurs, I really didn't have too much experience, so I'm
Mhm.
kind of going. But I just my goal is to look better every fight. You know, and gain more experience.
Nice.
Yeah, and our guy from HDZ says, "Don't sleep on this kid. He has power and speed." But let you put it into your own words. Ahead of your pro debut, why should people be looking out for you? Why should people watch Nathan Rodriguez and follow him throughout his career?
Well, like I said, I really don't have too much experience, you know, and I haven't been boxing too long, but I've been sparring with guys, you know, who are national champions, who have over 100 fights, professionals, and I've been, you know, keeping up with them, especially for me, who's only been boxing 4 years compared to guys who've been boxing, you know, most of their lives. For me to be able to keep up in that ring, you know, land a lot of shots on them, and you know, just exchange like that, I think like you know that means a lot.
And let me ask you about the sparring because I saw on your Instagram story today you were over here at a Jackrabbit Boxing Academy, right?
Yeah.
Getting some work in. How was
Uh,
that? How was that like?
yeah. That was actually a couple days ago. That was a clip. But no, that was some good work. Like I said, that kid, he was actually a national champion. He had over like 100 fights, if I'm not mistaken, like 120 or something like that. But it was good work, Like I said, to be able to keep up with them, people like that with that type of experience, with how many years I've been in the game, or just stuff like that. I think it means a lot.
100%. And I believe from the picture, I believe the young man's name is Frederick. I believe that was one of Zoe's kids. So shout out to them. They're good friends out there at a Jackrabbit Boxing. But uh, let's see. Does he have a nickname? They're asking. Yes, right. Your nickname is El Morenito. You
Yeah.
want to describe that a little bit for the fans who may not know where that derives from?
Yeah, it's my brother actually. Like I said, for some of you guys that don't know my brother, his name is El Moreno, and he got that from my grandpa. It all leads back to my grandpa. My grandpa's from Mexico. He's from Tepic. They used to call him Moreno, and my grandpa was one of my brother's biggest supporters, or he was my brother's biggest supporter. So my grandpa had passed away, and my brother took his name, to carry on that legacy. And I, at the time, I didn't have a boxing name, so I was still wondering, like, what should my boxing name be? And my dad actually helped me with the name. Since I'm younger, I just put ITO at the end, Morenito, which means like smaller, younger.
Thinking about the brother combination, there's right now a few brothers out there in boxing, Charlie brothers and everything. It's kind of like a brand, you know. You mentioned the Charlo brothers. They're two great fighters, and that's kind of what the idea. Moreno and Morenito, the two great fighters and world champs. Hopefully, in the near future.
100%. And then one last question before I pass it on to Chris. Tell us more about your team. Who's on your corner? Who's training you? Who's managing you? Who's promoting you right now?
Yeah, so my coach is actually his name's Coach Gil. He's been in this boxing game for about 15 years. He's been in a lot of world champs corners. He's been in Leo's corner. He worked with Coach Yuka, who's also been in many world champs. And honestly, this is my first fight with Coach Gil. I've been training with him for a couple weeks, but I can already feel the difference, and I can already see how much we're gonna progress, because I really like his style. And like I said, in this boxing game, defense is really important. So him, like, defense is like the number one thing. A lot of angle, speed. But like I said, he's a really good coach, and I can already feel this is going a long journey.
Yeah, and shout out to Coach Yuka Morales too. That started him and Yukita. That basically gave him the fundamentals. And right now we're working on a different area that he needs to grow in. But yeah, they're definitely that's the team.
Nice. You just mentioned your brother Nathan. How important or how helpful it is just having somebody there that you can train alongside. He's going through the same journey that you are. How important is that to you?
It means a lot to me. This boxing game, it's a very lonely sport, But to have someone by your side, and especially a relative, we always push ourselves to the limits. We like to challenge ourselves, or go against each other, which makes us push us, more.
And I've always seen that also. Like, for example, in everything they did, like you mentioned before, they were both tremendous baseball players. But he always had the upper advantage because he got it when he was younger, while the older one is kind of learning through the process. So, in this journey, the first one led the way, opened up the way. We learned a lot of things through the way because, and now it's making the way a lot easier for him. But at the same time, there's that competitiveness where he wants to be at the same level. So they spar together. He gets in the ring with his older brother and they spar, or they work hard together. So that's definitely an advantage for him.
And you mentioned earlier how you and your brother have opposing styles. This is a question for Dad. Dad, tell us how Nathan and Big Bro are different. How, like, their personality wise.
You know what? The boxing style, like he mentioned earlier, my older son Angel, he goes in there, he wants to destroy somebody. He's a knockout king, basically. He'll go out there and try to knock everybody out. His style, he has speed and he has power. So he can use either one. Most of the time, like he says, he tries to move out of the way. He has more of a boxing technique type of fight. I personally see him more probably, like a Steven Shakur kind of boxing where, he can hit somebody and move out of the way and not get hit. So obviously that's somebody that I see as an up and coming boxer, and I kind of see that in him that if he works hard, obviously Shakur is already a world champ that quick, because of his skills. I
Mhm.
believe Nathan has a special set of skills that he's gonna surprise the world. He's gonna surprise the world with that, and very very quick on his feet. I mean, he'll dance up there in the ring. He'll
Yeah.
be Matilda moves in the middle of a fight sometimes. But
Yeah.
that feet movement, that body movement, he moves in a way where like people try to hit him. Like where is he at? My older son doesn't have that. He'll take a punch. He'll go in there
Mm.
and hit me, and I'll hit you back. You know what I mean? Let's see who
Yeah.
wins. But that's the difference in style that they both have.
Hey, and final question before I pass it on to Gio. For you, Dad, you already saw one son debut. Like, what is the feeling for you having both of your sons? Like, what is that feeling? Describe to me that feeling having two future pro fighters in the household.
Well, you know what? It's nerve wracking, because you don't know what the end of the story is gonna be. Like the first time we walked Angel into the ring, everything was nice. Came out with a big, nice walkout and everything. The crowd was behind him, but you're like, what is gonna happen once he gets into that ring? How is he gonna react? Obviously, Angel in the first 8 seconds knocked the guy out, and it completely changed the mood. Like it was,
Mhm.
um, right? That kind of he's 7-0. He has back to back seven back to back victories. So you kind of it changes your mood when you walk into the ring, gives you a little bit of confidence. But now it's like back to square one. It's like, what am I going to see? What am I going to get? What Nathan am I going to get in the ring? Is he going to be able to get over the nerves and perform? Is he going to be kind of is he going to be able to? He's going to get stuck in the middle of the fight because he's looking at what's going on. But you know what? I see his training ethic, his work. He gets up at 5 in the morning on his own. He goes out and runs. He's working day and night. After that, he goes to the gym. He trains other people in the gym. So I see the passion that he has, the desire, and the work ethic is like no other. So I'm confident in that. That's the only reason I'm letting him walk into the ring at 16 years old. I'm like, okay, to be the best, you have to do what others aren't doing, and that's what I see him doing.
100%. Nice.
Let me send some shout outs here from the people in the live chat. Daniel Ochoa says, wish you the best luck from Blith, Cali. You also got a shout out from Guadalupe Rodriguez. Best of luck, Nate. Much love and respect to you and Angel. God bless you guys. So,
Thank you.
so yeah, let me ask you, what's the atmosphere like there at the gym?
Sure. Uh, so it's cool because like I see other people. Like I said, this sport is lonely, but just to see to be able to train with other professionals, who are maybe soon to be world champs, it's encouraging to see how hard they're working, and it makes me want to be, either where they're at or even greater. So it definitely pushes me, just like I said, like my brother too. But being in that gym, I'm always surrounded by professionals, and I look how they're training, and I see them, and I tell myself, I want to be either them or be greater than them.
Yeah, and your dad mentioned before we started recording that you actually hold some classes there, right? You teach kids and
Yeah,
adults. Yeah,
yeah.
describe that a little bit.
So after I get my morning workout for myself, I go back to the gym. I train people by myself. Me and my brother have a gym. It's called Morenito Brothers Boxing Gym. For some of you guys that don't know,
Hey.
but yeah, I train people by myself there. Right after my training, I go home, relax for a little bit, go to the gym, and then I do my own personal training and people who ever walk in.
100%. Big. Let me just send a big shout out to everybody who's tuned in. If you guys are just joining us, we have Nathan El Morenito Rodriguez, professional debut January 30th. Of course, he's accompanied by his dad there to his left. And before we forget, man, I just want to thank you guys for joining us. We know you stay busy. We know you're training hard, but just one more question for me, Nathan, is um, if you would have to describe this moment in one word, knowing that you're going to be a professional boxer pretty soon at 16 years old, if you had to describe that in one word, what you're feeling, what's going on in your mind, what do you think that word would be?
Um, I'd probably say, exciting, because like my dad said, not a lot of kids, go pro at my age, so it's definitely exciting. It's a new step in my career, and I just like I said, I've been putting in the work for it, and just to be on national TV in a different country for my professional debut, it's really exciting. So,
Now, how many times did your dad tell you no when you told him you wanted to go pro?
uh, how many times?
A lot,
Yeah,
a
it's been
lot,
a lot.
yeah, a lot of times. I don't remember how many, but it was a lot. He kept saying, "Come on, Dad, come on, Dad," the "come on, Dad," But,
Come on, man.
Now we
but
obviously mentioned the pro debut is going to be in Costa Rica. Can you guys describe the atmosphere out there? I know your brother Angel has fought out there. This is probably more so a question for your dad. How has Costa Rica treated you? Can you describe a little bit of what it's like out there?
yeah, Costa Rica is amazing. The people out there are amazing. Um, a lot of people that are loving the sport of boxing. Costa Rica now has a world champion. Um, that she won a title, I believe it was last year, if I'm not mistaken, early last year. And everybody in Costa Rica is crazy about that. We actually went out there, we signed her for her to come out here and fight in the United States. Obviously, because of COVID, all the plans have changed for right now. But she's gonna be defending her title out there on that day. And the crowd has been amazing. They embraced El Moreno from the beginning. When he got there, he came out with mariachi. The crowd went wild, and we got a lot of followers from there that still ask him, "When are you coming back? When are you coming back?" And amazing people, and I think we expect the same, type of love for his younger brother because he's already the way has already been opened for him, So definitely looking forward to going back. And an amazing thing is about fighting on national television. When Angel did that, and Moreno fought on national television, after the fight, we would go places and they would have the replay, and we would be in a place and you'll see, I get to see myself on television right there after the replay. I had people who flew to Costa Rica a few weeks later in some place they had to replay again. It was like a big thing out there, and it was amazing. People are amazing. They show a lot of love, definitely.
Now you mentioned mariachi. Let me ask you, Nathan, what type of music are you into? What's on your playlist right now?
I'm into all types of music, like corridos, Christian music, hip hop, just different things. I'm always mixing it up.
Dope, dope. Any last few questions that you have, Chris? And you guys too, if you guys are joining us here live on the chat, send us your last question so we can ask Nathan. But yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, for me, Nathan, a lot of people are going to see this podcast. They're going to start to get familiar with you. What's something that people don't know about you that you would like to share?
Um,
Tell them you get straight A's, bro.
nah, well, I just want to say, just like they said, keep an eye on me. Sometimes I don't be posting when I'm working. I like to work in silence sometimes, but I definitely will show it out in the ring. Just keep following me. Keep an eye on me, and I'll give you guys a good show.
There you go.
Nice.
Shout out to Mad Dog H, who's here in the live chat. He says El Morenito, sending a shout out. And Jesus says, will it be televised or on YouTube here in the States?
Yeah, it's gonna be. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's gonna be the same way as last time, where there's gonna be a link. It's gonna be on. We'll share the link. We'll be putting the link and stuff, the information like we did once I get it. But the last time we had a fight in Costa Rica, people from the United States were able to connect live and watch the fight.
Chris?
Perfect. Yeah. Final question. For me, I know family is very important. Like you said, boxing is a lonely sport. Sometimes it's like only your family that's there for you. What does family mean to you? You know, having their support.
It means a lot, you know. Like I said, it definitely pushes me. It makes me train harder, you know. I definitely want to give my family the best, you know. So I'm gonna keep pushing, and hopefully, if I do make it, you know, God willing, I want to give them everything, you know. Just like how they've returned, how they gave me the support, you know. I want to do the same, you know, whatever it is, either car, house, just stuff like that. You know, I just want to give back.
All right. Tell me the first thing that you're buying dad when you and Angel make it.
What was that?
What's the first thing you're buying your dad when you and Angel make it?
Um, I don't know. What do you want?
A private jet.
Hey, nice, perfect. Yeah, on my behalf, Nate, I just want to thank you for taking the time. I know it's been yeah, like I said, time and time again, it's been a crazy year, but I mean, it's staying positive and keep working hard. Can't wait to see your debut. We'll be keeping an eye on you, but thank you for taking the time. Your brother's an awesome guy. Your dad's an awesome guy. Just thank you guys for taking the time to talk to us today.
Yeah, thank you for having us. It's cool if I could shout out my sponsors real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Follow them on Instagram. So the first one is sr._chan, Karina official.27, and Karina with a K. Shout out to Delta, Line of Influence, Luxury Motorworks, Idols and Icons, and First Law Group.
Hey, there you go.
If
Yeah,
you heard
my
your
part,
name, if you heard your name, send that check. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hey,
Nah, but yeah,
Jim?
once again, thank you guys. And just one last question for me, Nathan.
Yeah.
We know 2020 was a crazy year. You're still in high school. How was it for you as a student? This is non-boxing related, but how was it for you just as a student, as a teenager, having to quarantine and not be in school really?
Yeah, well, it was totally different, you know, having to do everything online. It's for me, it was a lot harder, you know, than to do it in person. But you know, I'm still pushing through it. You know, I can't let that stop me. Got to keep hitting the gym every day. You know, make sure I get my stuff done. So can't make no excuses.
100%. Any last shout outs that you want to send out, Dad, or you, Nathan, if you forgot anyone?
Well, I want to give a shout out to everybody who has supported us from the beginning, who supported Moreno and who's now supporting Morenito. Thank you all. You know, I don't want to mention everybody because then it's going to be a long list, and I may forget somebody. But thank you all. You know who you are. We love you guys. Thank you.
100%. And one last question here from Gonzalo here, just checking in. He's asking about, is anybody signing you? I don't know if you guys can talk about that on air or not, but I don't know if you guys can give any hints.
Yeah. Well, let me answer this question. I've actually been approached for him to get signed with a big promoter here in Southern California.
Let's not mention any names. Let's save it for later.
Not mention
Yeah, let's save it. Let's save it.
let's save that for later. But the reality is this: I actually started a promotion company or partnered up with my partner, which is Red Boxing Promotion Company. I have my own promotion company as well that came together, joined forces to be able to open up the way for Angel and for many other fighters. You know, I learned through the game trying to get my older son some fights, how tough the business can be, how it's kind of pick and choose who you want, and because of that, it kind of pushed me to move into the industry. And right now, it's already flowing. It's already going. Big doors have been open. We're actually working on some big fights. We were working on something big for 2020. Obviously, the COVID changed everything. But 2021, be ready because we're going to come out with some big names, some big fights that are coming out, and we're going to be, basically promoting him through that way. We don't need to sign him right now. There's no need to sign him unless, there's only one reason I would sign him with a particular company. And I don't know if I'm going to put that out here right now.
They're gonna have to tune in the future.
Yeah.
Hey.
Wait, maybe for the next podcast, I might reveal the secret.
Hey, let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. You guys stay tuned for it. Once again, thank you guys in the live chat for joining us. Chris, do you have any last shout outs or any last messages that you want to put out there in the world? Wait.
Yeah,
One good question here by Gonzalo. My bad, Chris. What weight class will you be fighting at for your first fight?
I'm gonna be debuting at 122.
122.
Hey.
There you have it. Now, how much is that in kilos? I'm just kidding. I'm just
Um,
kidding. You don't have to answer that.
Hey,
Yeah.
Chris,
Now, for me, Nathan, I just want to commend you on taking this step. On becoming a pro boxer. It, like you said, it's one of the loneliest sports, but it could also be one of the most rewarding. Just keep working hard, young man. Keep striving for greatness, and you have your dad there who's gonna guide you along the way. So we can't wait to have you back on future podcasts, and we can't wait to see you rack up those wins, man.
yeah, thank you. It means a lot. I can't wait to be back too. Thank you guys for having us.
yeah, man. Thank you
Nice.
once again, and stay safe out there. We wish you the best. January 30th, everyone. Costa Rica is going down. Nathan El Morenito Rodriguez professional debut. Be on the lookout. Just one last question. Any news on Angel? Is he fighting soon?
He
Or?
maybe on that February 27 card. He may be look out, be ready. There's a possibility that he's gonna be fighting on that card. If not, right after that, there's gonna be another fight, possibly here in Los Angeles that we're gonna have him on the card. So
Yeah.
in the February or sometime in March, but he's coming back soon.
All right, there you guys have it, man. But for my part, let me send a big shout out to the sponsor of the show, Puro Golpe. Make sure to check them out at Puro Golpe. Shop is www.purogolpe.com. Make sure to check out our website as well, againstdaropestv.com. Make sure to follow us at Against the Ropes, Against DA Ropes on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. And we'll be back soon with more podcasts, man. This is just the beginning of the year. Once again, thank you guys. Thank you to the whole Rodriguez family. Thank you guys here. Thank you, Ramiro. I'm just reading some of the comments here. My bad. But yeah, thank you guys, man. And Nathan, let's do this, man. You're 16 years old. You're still very young. You seem very charismatic. I'm going to let you do the outro to the show, man. Take us out. It's on you. No pressure. No pressure.
Follow me on Instagram at El Morenito. If you're not following me already, my bad, El Morenito Boxing, and you can follow my pops at Marvin Rodriguez. INC.
There you have
Hey.
it. Against the Ropes podcast. Nathan Rodriguez, January 30th, man. Be on the lookout. Thank you, everybody. And we're out.
Thank you.